welcome to the Gospel Method. Tonight we are on Year 2, Lesson 33, and we are starting the key of A flat. Now, if any of you have been on YouTube for any amount of time searching around on gospel tutorials, this is the key that you are going to want to learn. I remember when I was first doing that YouTube hunt, trying to find the gems and figuring out, how do they make that sound? It seems like all of the tutorials on YouTube are in A flat. And for someone who I loved the key of C, I always found A flat really overwhelming. So tonight we are going to break it down. We're going to start with our scale. We are going to start with our chords, our inversions, and we're going to demystify the key of A flat so it doesn't seem so overwhelming, and you can jump in and start digging into those tutorials online and all those awesome gospel artists and gospel teachers that we have on YouTube. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to go over onto the website to get your PDF. You can see here we've got it ready to go. And to do so, all you need to do is go over to the Gospel Method. Here we go. thegospelmethod.com. Just go to free resources, okay, and you'll see our printout for tonight is right here, as well as some table of contents for Year 1 and Year 2, and a musician's toolkit, which has some easy left-hand patterns and some things that we covered in Year 1 that will help you. Also, while you're on the website, be sure to check out, we've got a couple things here. So here's our free session, which you guys are able to get tonight. We do have premium content coming soon in the summer. And right now in the month of May, we have Book a Lesson. If you'd like a free class, no strings attached, just put your information in here and you can sign up for a free Zoom class with myself and see if that's going to be a good fit for you, if that's something that you'd like to do. So be sure to check out the website. Everything's over there now. We did have some people asking about, do I still have to go on Facebook to get my downloads and stuff like that? So the answer is no. We've moved everything over to a website, so it's really easy for you to access everything, even if you don't have Facebook. All right, so let's jump right in tonight. The key of A flat, an awesome key. Like I said, really, really versatile. Anything that you want to learn on YouTube basically is going to be in the key of A flat. All right, so we're going to start with our A flat major scale, of course. And if you're not sure how to make a scale, we have the formula for you right here. And we go in a lot more detail in Year 1 and at the beginning of Year 2 if you need a little more information on that. And then we also have these definitions, so half step and whole step. We'll reference those tonight as we're making our chords and things. Again, we have full lessons on that over in Year 1, but that's just there to help you get started. Now we have A flat major scale. It has 4 black notes, 4 black keys on our piano. We're going to start with A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat, F, G, and A flat. So not only does it have black keys, but we also have a little bit different fingering than we're used to. Normally our scales, we start on our thumb. So again, finger 2. So if your fingers, 1 is your thumb, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's what these numbers are. This is just what finger to push if you want to actually play the scale. Okay, and then left hand, you're going to start with finger 3 on A flat, B flat, C, cross finger 4 over, D flat, E flat, F, G, and A flat. Okay, so together we've got the A flat major scale. So what is different about the key of A flat? We have, it should say 4 black keys now. B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat in our keys in our scale tonight. And of course, as always, I've got our exercises here. So we have starting the A flat major scale, just going up and down. You can do one hand at a time or both hands. So that's what we just did there, just going up and back down. Okay, staccato number 2 means that we're doing it short and detached. Again, you can do this with one hand or with both. And then legato scales, we're focusing on making it nice and smooth, not slowing down in the middle, not speeding up, just nice and smooth together. And then for fun, you can do contrary motion. So that's where you start. So you go. Obviously, I've been practicing my A-flat scale today. But you start with the middle, like this. Let's give that another try. There we go. I haven't done that in years. All right, but that's your A-flat contrary motion scale. And that's just a little bonus for fun. Okay, so that gives us the foundation of the key of A-flat. So these 4 black keys, A-flat, B-flat, D-flat, and E-flat, are going to show up everywhere in all of our chords, major and minor. You'll see that as we go through our chords. And these are going to be the chords that make up all of our songs tonight. So if we find chords in the key of A-flat, again, we're going to be using those black keys to create these chords. Now, before I jump into this, I'm just going to jump over to the chat. Again, this is a live session, so if you're watching this right now, you can go ahead and ask questions as we go. And if you're watching it on the replay, you can put your questions down in the comments, and I will answer them either on YouTube, or I will do a further explanation on a future video or in our group. We do have a Facebook group, and we have a Facebook page called The Gospel Method. So you can check those out. In the group, people post videos, ask questions, we do polls and votes for certain songs and things like that. Shout out to Marilyn, who posted an awesome video this week. So I see she's here tonight. Hi, Marilyn. Good job on your song. Both hands together. I love that. And we've got Francine and Yusuf here tonight. Hello, everybody. Come on in. So if you're on the chat and you do have a question, just go ahead and put it in the question box and it'll pop up live. All right. So the key of A-flat, chords. All these black notes. So if we start with A-flat major, starting on a black key, you might already be like, this is too hard, I'm not doing it. But remember, we have our pattern that we can use to make any major and minor chord, which again, I have those reminders down here. Major chord, you're going to start with your root, then you're going to count up 4 half steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 3 half steps, 1, 2, 3. So for A-flat major, you're going to end up with A-flat, C, and E-flat. Okay, so that is our home base root position chord for the key of A-flat. 2 black keys, okay? Now, if we go up to B-flat minor, that's going to be a new one. So if you've been following along with us, we've been going through our circle of fifths, which means every month we do a new key, and each key has more black keys in it than last week. So B-flat minor is going to be more of a newer one for us. So let's figure that one out. So B-flat, and to make a minor chord, we go 3 and then 4. So you're going to end up with B-flat, D-flat, and F is B-flat minor. Another key or chord we're going to use a lot is C minor. Now we're pretty familiar with that one by now from our last time we did E-flat major, and that one had C minor in it a lot as well. C minor is C, E-flat, and G. We have D-flat major. This is a new chord, so if you've been following with us, we haven't seen this one before. So let's count it out. We have D-flat. It's a major chord, so we're going to count 4 and then 3. There's 4. There's 3. So we have D-flat, F, and A-flat. So again, 2 black keys in one chord. Then we have our E-flat major, which we know from when we did the key of E-flat. So E-flat, G, and B-flat. We have F minor, which we know that one as well. F, A-flat, and C. And again, you can figure all these out by using your formulas there if you're not familiar with them already. G diminished is going to be G, B-flat, and D-flat. So again, we usually don't use that diminished one in the songs. We usually use them in different keys, but we have it. That's going to be the chord. And then back to A-flat. Okay? So if you need a minute, write those down on your chord chart, but we are also going to go through inversions tonight, and that will give you the chart with the actual pictures of each chord in the easiest inversion. All right, so again, I know we always take time at the beginning of each one. We do some theory. Some of you love it, some of you hate it. But this is going to tell you why we do what we do, and hopefully it's going to make it easier for you to apply this into songs that aren't just the ones that I give you. The idea is I want you to be able to take this information. If you have a church binder, songs that your guys' church do, you can use this information and be able to play any song, not just the songs that we have in our library here. So let's talk about inversions. So inversions just means we're going to rearrange our notes of each chord And we're going to do that so it's easier to jump between different chords. So if we're going to go from A flat to E flat, that's a huge jump. If we're trying to do that fast, that's not going to be fun at all. So there's got to be easier ways to get there. And that's what inversions are going to help us with. So A flat major is the one I gave you as an example. So as long as we have these three keys, or these three letters, it doesn't matter what order they're in, it's still A flat major. We just call it an inversion. So if we took this A flat and we put it on the top instead, we'd end up with A flat first inversion, C, E flat, and A flat. If we take this C and put that on the top instead, we end up with A flat second inversion, A flat, or E flat, A flat, and C. Again, we're just taking our A flat, rearranging it. Technically, if I put my A flat down here, my E up here, and my C up here, that's still an A flat major chord, okay? So the inversions, we're just moving them around in different orders, okay? Now, down here we have something called home base inversions. Now, this is something we use on the gospel method. If you Google home base inversions on the internet, probably not going to find anything unless you find our book. But basically what I've done is I've figured out the easiest ways to get to all of the main chords of the key without having to jump. Okay, so let's go over those options tonight. So A flat major, again. Oh, that should have E flat. Sorry, guys. I always I make the joke every week. I edit these so many times, and I always find mistakes on Friday, never before I print them. So this should be A flat, C, and E flat. So this should be up here, E flat. Okay, my apologies. A flat, C, and E flat. Okay, and then B flat minor, because we have no notes that are the same. We're going to actually just move our whole hand over and play a B flat minor in root position as well. So A flat, B flat minor, A flat, B flat minor. We're just going to slide everything to the right. Okay, now what about C minor? Well, if we're playing A flat and we want to go to C minor, we already have the C, we already have the E flat. So all we have to do is move our thumb to the left to the G, and we've got this C minor. So look how easy that is. A flat, C minor, A flat, C minor. We barely have to move at all. Now let's take a look. Go back to A flat. We're going to go to D flat major. Okay, now this one, we already have the A flat that we need for our D flat major, so let's keep this one. And then we need D flat and F, so we'll lift up our two fingers here, move them to the right. So we have A flat, D flat, and F. And that's our D flat major, just inverted. Okay, so that's, again, much easier than jumping all the way up. Okay, now if we go back to A flat major, and we're going to go to E flat major, we already have the E flat ready to go. We have our B flat right here on our pointer finger, just scoot that down. And then we're going to slide our thumb to the left to the G. So that's E flat major. So again, if we're going between A flat and E flat, just keep your pinky there and slide the other two down. Alright, now F minor, this is another easy one. We only have to move one finger. We already have our A flat and our C, but we need our F, so we're going to just move that E flat up to the F. Now this one, it's going to feel a little awkward unless you have giant hands, so I would move my pointer finger to that C to play F minor. Okay, so I have A flat major, 1, 3, and 5, thumb, middle, pinky. But when I go to my F minor, I'm just going to make sure my pointer goes on the C and my pinky goes to the F, like that. And that's going to be a lot more comfortable, especially of those with tiny hands. One of my private students, she was joking yesterday. She said, "My hands are so small, I can't be a good piano player." And she's about 10, 11 years old. And we put our hands up, and I said, "They're about the same size. I think you'll be fine." So there's tiny finger tricks and there's long finger tricks. So that's one of them for the tiny fingers, is make sure you just slide with your pointer finger. All right, and then as always, we've got our warm-ups here. This is just practicing going between the inversions. This is probably the most helpful piece in the whole PDF if you are new to each key. So if you go to the beginning, if you go through year two, every 6 or 4 weeks we switch to a new key, and each one starts with this inversion chart. And this would be your best friend when learning a new key, and these exercises, more so than the songs, more so than the scales, although the scales are also very important. But practicing your inversions on the right hand is going to make it so that you're playing with confidence in that key the fastest. Okay, so all this is just A flat, D flat, just practicing that muscle memory so that you don't have to think about it and count. So at the beginning, you're going to have to actually have your chart there, and I'm just going through them in order here. B flat minor, A flat, F minor. Okay, but you can have your chart out, and then until you don't need it, because eventually you don't want to be looking back and forth, because then you're gonna, take so much time. So the idea is you can play that warm up just like I did. I can talk, I can, it's second nature. D flat, you can just do it. Okay, so I would highly recommend that with your right hand if you're learning, if this is the first time you're in A flat. All right, let's get into some songs. We have 2 brand new songs tonight. Everybody Will Be Happy and Amazing Love, which is pretty popular. I saw a few different people sing that, so hopefully that's a familiar one to you. And again, use these concepts in your song so you're not just stuck with our library. If you haven't yet done so, be sure to head over to the Gospel Method. Like I said, we've got all kinds of the free resources here. All the songs that we've done since year 1 are here, all the way down. If I was to guess, there's probably over 100 songs, at least by now, that you can go through and practice on. So be sure to check that out. But the idea is that you would be able to use this with your songs that you have at home as well. All right, so let's go through and try the verse and the chorus in case you're not familiar with it. There's 2 different ways to do this. There's more of a country way, and then there's, of course, the peppy way. I'm sure that's not the official word, but how I do it with the... Sorry, my phone's just too loud here. I hear people downloading PDFs, which is great. I'm just going to make that a little quieter. Okay. So there's a happy land of promise over in the great beyond, where the saved of earth shall soon the glory share, where the souls of men shall enter and live on forevermore. Everybody will be happy over there. Everybody will be happy, will be happy over there. We will shout and sing God's praises. Everybody will be happy over there. Okay, and then if you note a little bit faster, everybody will be happy, will be happy over there. Sorry. We will shout and sing God's praises. Everybody will be happy over there. Okay, and I'll show you guys a little bit of both of those so you can find your groove and what you prefer and how to get those sounds. So let's start with our right hand. Inversions, again, is our focus for tonight and our new chords. But at the end, we will go through and show you how you can add some patterns so that you don't just sound so beginnery. Okay, so let's start with our verse. A flat. Now you can either play it down here where middle C is on your middle finger, or you can play it up here depending what's comfortable. Depending, if you like more of a bassy sound or more of a bright sound. Okay, there's no right or wrong answer. Depending on what your left hand's doing, it might make you make your decision also. Okay, but for now, let's just start down here to find our inversions. So there's a happy land of promise. So nice, just 2 A flats over in, so D flat major. So A flat, D flat, and F. In the great beyond, back to A flat. Where the saved of earth shall soon the glory share. E flat major. So G, B flat, and E flat. Excuse me, for your E flat major. Where the, back to A flat, souls of men shall enter and live on D flat. So back again up, A flat, D flat, and F. Now this is a little walk down. Back to A flat just for a minute. And then to B flat minor. So we're going to slide everybody to the right. B flat, D flat, and F. B flat, D flat, and F, okay? And then back to A flat, everybody will be happy. Back to E flat, G, B flat, E flat, happy over there. A flat again. Then we have this D flat over E flat, which might look a little scary, but all you gotta do is play D flat on the right hand, so A flat, D flat, and F, and an E flat note on the left hand. So D flat over E flat looks like that. Okay, and then if we go over to the chorus, very, very similar, just a little bit different counting, but all the same chords. So A flat, everybody will be happy. Up to your D flat, we'll be happy. D flat again, over there. Excuse me. So pretty easy there. We will shout. Now here's a different walk down. This is A going to the F minor. Sing his praises. So A flat, E flat over G. We'll get there when we add the left hand. And then F minor. So that'll take some practice. We have two little walk downs for this one. We have one right here and one right here. So where each one gets one beat. 1, 1, 1. And then everybody will be happy over there. Same ending as the chorus. Okay, now let's add in our left hand note, so just a bass note, and our right hand will repeat the chord if we see a slash. So there's a happy land of promise over in the great beyond, where the saved of earth shall soon the glory share, where the souls of men shall enter and live on forevermore. Everybody will be happy over there. Chorus. Everybody will be happy. Will be happy over there. We will shout and sing God's praises. Everybody will be happy over there. All right, so that's the steady what's on the page version, okay? And I know that looks easy and logically it's very simple, but simple and easy are two different things. Simple, follow the chart. Of course, very easy. Muscle memory, making your fingers listen to what they're told, not so easy. So that would be your goal. If you're just new in A flat, take the whole week and try to get to that point where you're playing steady, you're playing the correct inversions, and your left hand is playing just the long notes, okay? Now, if you're already familiar with A flat and you do want to give it a little more spice and something nice, two different options. If you want more of the country sound, what you're going to do is use your bounce, which we talked about in year 1, lesson 18. It's also in our toolkit. And you're just going to play the left hand note just one more time right before each chord change. So, happy land of promise over in the great bounce. Bounce. Dun, dun, bounce. 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 Souls of men shall enter and bounce. Okay, that's going to give you, and then if you speed it up, they'll sound just that more traditional country sound. Land of promise over in the great beyond. Add the drums. That's just very simple, traditional. You know, that would sound really nice with your bounce. The other option, if you wanted to add your walking bass line, of course, you know I'm going to say subdivisions. So that means your left hand is going to play extra. And again, if subdivisions is new to you, we have a whole 1 hour lesson on it. I think multiple 1 hour lessons in year 1 talking about subdivisions. But that's where you're going to go. So A flat, slash, A flat, slash. So you're going to add 2 sounds on your left hand for every symbol on your sheet. So happy land of promise over in the great beyond, where the saved of earth shall soon the glory share, where the souls of men shall enter and live on forevermore. Everybody will be sounds like a robot right now, but if you add it with your chords, there's a happy land of promise over in the, you can see how it sounds more peppy. Lovers shall soon the glory share, where the souls of men shall enter and live on forevermore. Everybody will be happy over there. Okay, so that's how the two different ways. So either add your bounce for the more slow version, and if you want a little faster, just add those subdivisions, and it'll give you a nice traditional sounding but quicker hymn. Okay, so that's Everybody Will Be Happy. That's got lots of fun stuff in it. It's a happy tune for a sunny spring day. Of course, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. That's this weekend. It snuck up on me. I looked at the calendar. I couldn't believe it. We're already halfway through May. So happy Mother's Day if you are a mother. And I see we have some new people on the chat tonight that have joined us. So Connie and Linda are here. Come on in. Welcome, guys. Now, I am going to give you guys an option tonight. I just saw one of my students on here. I'm going to let you guys decide which song is going to get the intermediate version for the premium. So we've been collecting intermediate songs to add into that premium membership that I was talking about. So in the summer, as soon as we get everything ready to go, we're going to be opening up another level for you guys. So right now we're in this free membership. Of course, this will be here. You guys can get all this for free. But starting in the summer, for those of you looking for a little bit more, you want to connect and be able to ask more questions. There's going to be intermediate chord charts that take these songs to the next level. This is going to be the premium content. And so what I've been doing over the spring is every time we have a song, I make sure that I make an intermediate of one of the songs from our Friday night. So you guys can decide Everybody Will Be Happy or Amazing Love, which one you guys would like to see in the premium membership. And that will be opening in the summer. Okay, so I know I've had some few people calling in asking about that. Right now we are building it, and I want to thank everyone who is helping. I see Jane Marie just popped on. She's one of our helpers with the library, and thank you to everybody who's been helping. But we are working on creating a really nice place for you guys, really low membership fee where you can get access to a library of songs in all 12 keys, and also intermediate content like we were talking about, and also access to a Zoom call once a month with me. So that will be happening this summer, God willing, if you can give me the strength to get that library finished. But yeah, let me know in the comments or on the Facebook which one you guys want to see, Everybody Will Be Happy or Amazing Love. So let's jump into that. Amazing Love, how can it be? Now this is a nice slow song. I think I might play this one up here just so you can hear the difference. But yeah, let me just play the verse, chorus, and the bridge. We'll just quickly go through it in case you're not familiar. And then again, we will jump through step by step. I'm forgiven because you were forsaken. I'm accepted. You were condemned. I'm alive and well. Your spirit is within me because you died and rose again. Amazing love, how can it be that you, my King, would die for me? Amazing love, I know it's true, and it's my joy to honor you in all I do. I honor you, Jesus, you are my King. Jesus, you are my King. And then that repeats and it goes all over the place. But that gives you kind of an idea of each of the sections of this, okay? Now we're going to go through step by step, nice and slow, on each inversion. So again, if you are watching this on the replay and you already play an A flat, skip ahead a little bit and we'll talk about how to jazz it up. But we're just going to take a few minutes and go through with our inversions, starting with verse 1. So we have A flat, C on the left hand. I'm forgiven. So D flat, You're going to go up to A flat, D flat, and F. And now we're actually going to transition between D flat and E flat, which we did not do in the hymn. So here you're going to have to look at your chart. You're going to be moving to the left, and all of your fingers are going to move. Okay, so you've got D flat here, but then you're going to have to move everybody. So thumb goes to G, pointer goes to B flat, and pinky goes to E flat. Okay, so D flat going to E flat, forsaken. And then we're going to repeat that. So God is merciful, isn't he? Look at that. We get to repeat the same thing. I'm accepted, up to the D flat and then down to the E flat. You were condemned. And then again. I'm alive and well, your spirit is within me. Oh, praise God. Okay, now we got to go back to the D flat. Okay, so think A flat, D flat, and F. And so just everybody moves to the right. To the D flat. Easier said than done, I know. Take your time. And then back to E flat. Because you died and rose again. Alright, so D flat to the D flat to the E flat. D flat, E flat, D flat, E flat. That would be a good practice to get that muscle memory because everybody's moving. Okay? Now let's jump over to the chorus. Start with A flat again. Back to home base, thank goodness. Amazing love, up to your D flat. How can it be? Back to A flat. Isn't that nice when we have a little back and forth? That you might. Now king is F minor. Remember, F minor is one of the easy ones. We only have to move one finger. Technically, you just got to move that pinky up to F. If you have small fingers, move your pointer too, so it's on the C. Okay. King would die for me. Now, again, we're going straight from F minor to the E flat. So everybody moves to the left. For me. So F minor, E flat. F minor, E flat. Practicing when you're up on the black keys. One thing to notice, I didn't mention this when we did our scale, but we are in, a lot of people call this a black key because there's so many black keys in the key of A flat. So you want to make sure your hands are staying on the top third of your keyboard instead of the bottom third. Okay, so when I'm playing, all my hand, if you can see there, is on top of the black keys. I'm not trying to stay down here and reach up. Okay, that's not going to work. Like F minor, we don't want to be kind of shooting our thumb up because then you're going to end up with carpal tunnel. Okay, so go up here to the E, up here to the top part. Hi, Juanita. So where was I talking about? Oh yeah, F minor to E flat, F minor to E flat. So even though some of them are white notes, I'm keeping my hand near the top. Okay, where were we at? Amazing love, third line of the chorus. Amazing love, back to the D flat. Good, repeats itself. I know it's true. A flat. And it's my joy, F minor to honor you. So those two lines are just a repeat of the first two lines, but with different words, okay? And then in all I do, D flat, and then E flat, I honor you. So there is quite a bit of repeat in this one. It looks, I tried to pick ones that weren't too overwhelming. So these three lines are identical, okay? And in terms of chord progression, this line and this line is identical. Okay, and then we've got these two lines, and these two lines are identical. So there's little sections, right, if you want to go through and just work on one line at a time. I've had a couple people ask me this week, like, well, how do I practice? Like, if I'm learning a new song, like, what do I do? Do I just, like, jump in on, just go really slow, or do I piece it apart? And if it's something like this where it's a brand new key, it's a brand new song, everything's at once, I would do one hand at a time, one section at a time. So if it was me, I would do the verse with one hand at a time, so just my right hand, then I would do it with just my left hand, and then I would try it together. And then once I feel okay with that, then I would go to just the chorus, same thing, circle the parts that are hard, work on those extra, of course, and then eventually, maybe by the end of the week, put it all together. But if you're already familiar with the key, like if you're already playing in A flat and you already know your chords, then you could do hands together, but probably just go through it slowly from the top. So yeah, it kind of depends on your comfort level. If it's brand new, definitely smaller sections and one hand at a time. Okay, so that's our chorus. Now bridge, look how easy that is. A flats everywhere. Jesus, you are my King. Jesus, you are my King. And it repeats forever. Jesus, you. Okay, but we'll talk about how to spice that up so you're not just repeating 16 A flats in a row. But that's the basics of all those chords there, okay? So let's go through as written, and then we'll talk about how we can spice it up. Okay, I see a few votes coming through for what song you want for the premium intermediate song. So I was saying before, if you're just joining us, we have 2 songs each week, and each week I choose a song to make harder and bring to the next level, and it gets added into our premium membership. So we have 2 songs tonight, so you can decide in the chat tonight, because normally I already have it done, but tonight I'm going to be working on it. So you guys vote, let me know what you want, and that's the one I'll pick, okay? So here we go. Introduction. Yeah, let's do the introduction. I'm just doing long chords on the left hand. I'm forgiven because you were forsaken. I'm accepted. You were condemned. I'm alive and well. Your spirit is within me because you died and rose again. Chorus. Amazing love, how can it be that you, my King, would die for me? Amazing love, I know it's true, and it's my joy to honor you in all I do. I honor you. Okay, now we're going to the bridge. Jesus, you are my King. Jesus, you are my King. Probably repeat it. Jesus, you are my King. Jesus, you are my King. Back to the chorus. Amazing love. And then you would loop that, okay? So that gives you exactly what's on the page. Like I said before, if A flat is a new key for you, that's your goal, is to be able to play it steady with inversions and a long note in the left hand. If you have finished that and you are looking, or you're coming back for more, what you can do for this one, very simple, is the bounce. Again, year 1 level, lesson 18. We use that a lot because it's very simple and it adds a lot really quickly to our songs. All you got to do is give another little hop on that left hand before you switch chords. So, I'm forgiven. Now I'm making it exaggerative, but because you were forsaken, I'm accepted. You were condemned. Okay, that bounce is going to give you, you could probably get away with just that. If you're using your pedal and you have other instruments, maybe you got a drummer with you. Okay, you can get away with that. Now the bridge, we do got to do something with that bridge because that is a boring bridge. I even tried Googling or like without going off of what the recordings do. How can we add stuff to the bridge? And everybody just had A flat, A flat, A flat, A flat. I'm like, okay, there's got to be a way that we can spice this up. Jane Marie says, my pastor's wife would say, repeat the bridge till you're sick of singing it. Yes, exactly. And I'm sick of singing this bridge after 2 lines because it's so boring. So what can we do? So we can change our left hand, we can change our rhythm, we can change our voice. So if I was playing this in real life, I would start by bringing my left hand up here. So I've got like a higher sound. Sounds more, gentle at the beginning. Jesus, you are my King. Jesus, you are my King. Add the bounce. Jesus, you are my King. I had a whole bunch of the bounces. Jesus, you are my King. Make them octaves. Jesus, you are my King. Get your singers to harmonize. Jesus, you are my King. Move your right hand up. Jesus, you. What did I do there? Ah, Christine, what are you doing? took the A flat, I just moved it up. I made an inversion. Makes it more exciting. I'm going up my keyboard. My king, watch. Jesus, you are my king. Move your left hand down. Jesus, you are my king. Move your right hand up again. Jesus, you are my king. Jesus, you are my king. Now go back to the chorus. Amazing love, how can it be? So see how, I don't know how many times I played that, like 8 times or something, but just anything that you can add into, just how can, another thing we could do is we could add a 2 chord. We call it A flat 2, where you play the A flat, you add the B flat. It just gives it a little more harmony, right? So all those things we already know. We already know the bounce, we already know octaves, we already know how to move inversions. So just do one at a time. Every time you repeat the bridge, make it more exciting. And like I said, a good trick is start in the middle, so it's all like, oh, they're all the same. And then slowly move those hands out to get it more dramatic. Bass is going to be, more dramatic. High notes, it's going to make it more dramatic. Okay, so that's a fun experiment. You could see how many different ways could I play the bridge this week. And I bet you, just from what we've learned in class, you could probably come up with at least 10. At least. You could do the rolling pattern. Jesus, you are my king. Jesus, you are my king. You could do fifths in the left hand. Jesus, you are my king. That's also in our toolkit. Jesus, you are my king. If you're feeling really brave, you could do arpeggios. Jesus, you are my king. Jesus, you. Okay, so the sky's the limit, guys. Use your toolkit. That would be a good one to practice that. Again, Musician's Toolkit. It's in the free downloads, but that just talks about kind of the main left-hand patterns that we covered in year 1. And then, give you some ideas to spice it up, okay? Now, again, this is a beginner's class. Of course, this is the goal, right? But just for those of you, like if you finish it, maybe you're coming back. Year 3, you're coming back to year 2 to add some stuff in. Okay, that would give you some ideas. All right, got a couple questions here. Yusuf says, if you have not finished year 1 course, can you jump to year 2? My sister wants to know. Absolutely. So year 1, for those of you just joining, covers the key of C. So the year 1 is designed for people who have never played before. It takes you from ABC, how to name your white notes, talks about, one hand at a time, what is a chord, and it takes you all the way through to the basics in the key of C. So we talk about inversions. What is an inversion? We talk about slash chords. We talk about walk-ups and walk-downs, walking bass lines. We talk about 7th chords. What else do we do? So we do some slow left-hand patterns, like that rolling one, the bounce that I've mentioned tonight. We talk about subdivisions, so faster songs, turnarounds, so like the black gospel endings that you can add. And so you don't have to do all of that, but definitely that's what's covered in year 1. And then what I've done for year 2 is right at the beginning of year 2, we start with what is the key of C, and then we jump straight into all the different keys. Okay, so if she already knows how to play in the key of C, absolutely. Year 2 is all about learning your scales and learning to play in all 12 keys. So by September, or however long this takes us, probably September or October of 2024, you'll be able to go back and see all 12 keys with at least 4 lessons each, breaking down. Okay, so great question. You do not have to start at year 1, although I do have people who do both at the same time because they don't want to miss anything. Jay Marie says, will you quickly show me on this song how you do the extra stuff we were talking about the other day, the ticka ticka? Absolutely. Okay, so what Jay Marie's talking about in our intermediate class, so on Zoom, I meet with students who want to join in once a week, and the intermediate class, we've been talking about how to add right hand, all those things that I do that you guys say, what are you doing there? It sounds so different. So the little movements. And so ticka ticka is kind of our way of explaining super subdivisions. Okay, so for those of you who want more information on this, join my Zoom class. I've got full-length lessons explaining all of this. But Jane Marie, we're going to need 4 notes. So if you're doing Amazing Love, A flat, you could go like that. You could go A flat, C, E flat, C. Or you could play it like an A flat 2 chord, which is A flat, B flat, C, and E. Like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then so you're going to smush those together quickly in one beat. Like that. So you could go Amazing Love, how. So I did it right here. On that slash, I got all 4 of those in. So like this. Amazing love, how can it be? And then so you could do it here as well. So you've got D flat. Okay, so you're playing it like this. Now you want to use one of these empty fingers to fill in the 4th note. You could either, you could just roll back and forth on your chord. But E flat, our finger is already there, and E flat lives in our key, in our scale. So you could go, make a little 1, 2, 3, 4, right? On the D flat. So you could go, Amazing love, how can it be that you, my king, would die for me? And that, see, I'm getting ahead of myself. Jane Marie, you can write this down. You could do a sus chord here. Okay, so for those of you following along, we will talk about sus chords in the key of A flat 3 weeks from now, okay, on the live. But for those of you wanting, just add a little extra, you could make that a sus chord here. Okay, so there's lots of goodies. And Jane Marie, if you want to talk about that in class, you can bring this one and we can totally write all over it and intermediify it. Okay, great questions. Okay, so I saw a couple of votes for Everybody Will Be Happy, but I'm going to give you guys a minute in case anybody wants to add in some more votes. I'm going to play through this how I would, like with all the tickas, as Jane Marie said, and all that stuff, and give you guys some time to vote and ask some questions. Again, if you haven't done so, be sure to check out the website. This is where you're going to get your free downloads. This is where you'll be able to get the premium membership this summer. And of course, in the month of May, come for a free lesson. There's no strings attached. Come hang out on Zoom for an hour and get some personalized feedback. And if you like it and you want to continue, we can get you set up on the month-to-month plan with myself or one of our teachers. All right, so here we gonna go. I'll play through it how I would play it just for fun, and I'll wait to see if any more votes come in and any questions about tonight's lesson. All right, intro. I'm forgiven because you were forsaken. I'm accepted. You were condemned. I'm alive and well. Your spirit is within me because you died and rose again. Amazing love, how can it be that you, my king, would die for me? There you go. Couple of wrong notes, but you get the idea. You can build it. I was talking to one of my students this week about making all of your songs like a mountain. So you want it to rise, you want it to have some excitement in the middle, and then you want to land your plane, okay? So you can play around with that. All right, I see a couple more votes came in for the song. I'm going to be taking a little break, doing some stuff in the office, and then I will come back and see how many votes in case there's some more in the comments. And then we will pick our song for the premium membership for this week. So, have a wonderful week, everybody. Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers, and we will see you next week. We're going to talk about the key of A flat. What are we doing next week? Walk-ups and walk-downs. Okay? So see you guys next week, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye!